They have the numbers, they have the organizational structures, you know, in all parts of the country, but they are divided by the monkey master, you know, who creates among them those who disorganize them, the starters, you know. So even students, like in Kampala here, where you have a huge number of students, and those who have left universities who are just roaming, loitering the streets, you know, in all these tertiary institutions, you know, if you just organize a few people and they start doing work, and it can take a short time, in no time you can paralyze the whole system, and they would have no choice but to surrender, you know. The actions to take are very easy, very, you know, very expansive. There are many actions we can take, but the starting point is determination, which is born out of knowledge and organization. Now, maybe finally, we should examine why this has not happened. Because we have been talking about it, but it has not happened. Why? It's because those who dominate us are also not seated. They work over time to make sure we don't achieve our objectives. We don't conscientize people, we don't organize them, we don't act. They work, and they have the tools to use. So we must understand, and I was talking to some, I think they were Makerere students some time back, about what they have to overcome. In order to gain freedom, you must overcome the tools, what the dominator uses to dominate us. You must overcome it. You must develop the capacity to overcome it. And the first one is fear. The first tool that those who dominate others use is instilling fear. And that's why they do all kinds of horrible things so that people can see them and say, ah, kino tekisoboka. You know? Bajja kunzita, bajja kunsiba, bajja kuntulugunya. Like those you see who have been tortured, like the Kakwenzas. They are happy when Kakwenza comes out and you see his back and you say, eh, kati Kakwenza, aha. So they use fear as a tool. We have to overcome that fear if we have to regain our freedom and influence. We must overcome fear. And the most effective way of overcoming fear is to have faith in what you are doing. You know, faith is the opposite of fear. If you know that what I'm doing will succeed, this has been done elsewhere, even Ugandans defeated the British when they didn't have anything. That time they didn't have telephones. There was no WhatsApp. There was no money even for moving or doing what. But people organized and defeated the British. So how can you fail when you have a lot of advantages over those people? So you need to work on your confidence that this is definitely possible and doable, and it's you to do it. Once you have the conviction, the fear is reduced. That's why those matters we were celebrating in last week, withstood all kinds of intimidation, even were burnt while they were singing, because their faith was high. Imani must have imani that is high, you know. And that's why even, you see, the Muslim faith has struggled and defeated the superpowers. You saw the Afghans. Afghans defeated America, the superpower. They were scrambling to jump on the aircraft to escape from Afghans, just because they believe in what they are doing, have the confidence. So we must work on appreciating that this is doable. And the regime invests all it can to weaken your resolve, show you that it's not possible. So they will do everything to discourage you, create more fear in you, weaken your resolve, show you that you can't do it. So that is one thing we have to overcome. Secondly, we have to overcome their advantage and tool of dispensing favors, because they control wealth. They can use their wealth to control you. And that's what has been happening. That's why all the elites, people elect people, they go to parliament. In 1 year, they are speaking Rudicha. And those in political parties, they start with vigor in the political parties. A short while later, they are also speaking Rudicha in the political parties. And that's why Museveni said by 2021 there will be no opposition. Because he could see that it's possible to co-opt using money and favors, appointive jobs, because they have jobs which can be juicy. We shall give you a job in Revenue Authority. We shall send you for a course abroad. We shall do this. We shall do this for you. We will build you a house, or your parents a house. They use their control of wealth to dispense favors to would-be leaders of the struggle. That we must overcome that. And that has been the biggest source of collapse of whatever we are doing. You start when you are enthusiastic. In a short while, even when we sit here to plan what to do, you'll find that maybe 10 or more people from here, they go to inform those you are organizing against in order to get something. Now that is a challenge we have to overcome. Thirdly is the dominance and control of information and the use of propaganda, which I think I had Wycliffe here talking about how they will demoralize you by repeating some untruths until people believe it, because they control the means of disseminating information. That's why you heard people saying, Besigye is same as Museveni. They will just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until people start believing it. So the control of information And the use of propaganda is one way of maintaining domination, you know. And we have to fight using whatever little means we have, because they dominate the media, which is why now social media is a liberating factor, because everybody can be a journalist, everybody can say something, and you know, you can even go to where, for the radios, you can only maybe speak around Kampala. It's not likely that up country they will allow you. But you can, we must use every available avenue to counter the misinformation and propaganda. Some time back, for example, we were recording messages on memory cards of telephones, because now even the most simple telephone has a memory card. So one can create a radio station with a telephone. If you have a message on the memory card, you can also collect people and play the message. We have to be creative in countering the misinformation and propaganda. You've heard indeed people saying that Besigye is the richest person. He owns and controls all Total petrol stations, hotels, and so on. So much so that some time back I was traveling outside and I met the owner of Equatoria Hotel, Karim Hirji. And he told me Revenue Authority people had confronted him to get information as to whether indeed I am the owner of Equatorial Hotel, you know. So it goes into all kinds of places. And, you know, the counter for this, of course, they attack leaders to weaken leaders, because if you have no leaders, even if people want to do something but they don't have leadership, they will not be able to do anything. And so they focus on attacking leaders, and they will attack all of you. They have a huge machinery to do that, to attack you, to demonize you, to do all kinds of things. Yes, so we really need to fight back and win in that area. Lastly, among the main tools they use is obviously the divide and rule tactic. The British used it, subsequent people use it, because the oppressed are very many. They want to sectionalize them so that they are dealing with small groups, even if they are many. They don't agree with each other. Or even better still, that they are fighting each other. So rather than challenging those who are dominating you, you find you are paying more attention in fighting amongst the prisoners. And, you know, that's why earlier we were talking about the prison situation. And this they have perfected. They will cause divide and rule in political parties, in churches, in business community, in any group that brings people together. They will try to divide them. Whether you are in parliament and you have the caucus of opposition, you'll find it's dysfunctional because they are divided. So I'm very, very sure that if we pay attention to this, in no time, we can regain influence and control of this country. And we have been talking about how to manage from a dictatorship to a democratic dispensation, that we will need a transition. And we've published something about
the president in absence. I believe that we are here because of these ladies. And maybe as he comes, I want to suggest that the ladies choose among us themselves one person that will talk to us, give us a reflection on what they have gone through, and what we can achieve. I have been advised, I thought because you are very tired, but I think this advice is good, that we hear each one of you saying something to us. But still I think, what I said? Okay. Yeah, so that we can be able to, because you see, we get different experiences, we get to understand things differently. And maybe we need to wait until, yes, I think we need to wait until, but before he comes, I want us, especially young people whose desks are still having space on which to write materials. Each time you listen to presentations like this, because the doctor is not reading from anywhere, I think it is because he believes in what he's talking about. Margaret, there, my sister, one day asked us, said, we are with the doctor very many times and he's speaking when we are there. Why is it that each other time he wants to talk, we listen? We find something new. Even today, I'm sure she's listening and finding something new. It grows out of, because you see, thinking about the trouble that we face and having a desire to address this trouble makes you develop your own ideas about each of these things that you listen to. And we shall not get out of this trouble until each one of us understands it well and owns it. You see, it is a big problem that people want others to convince them. I mean, we don't need people to convince us. We only need to understand it. I mean, convincing you is reducing you to what do you call these climbers, these opportunistic things. You don't have an interest of your own, and you only want to have an interest of the other people. Yet, this thing affects all of us. So as we wait for the president to return, so that he can listen to his fellow prisoners. Now you are going to get another identity. You have a class. Incidentally, if it were not these other things, prison also is a very good experience. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. Isn't it? It's a very good experience. I was arrested and taken to Makinye military place, and I stayed there for 4 days. You are in a place like down there, and the roof is there. That's where the Kamori is. And you find there someone who has been there for 4 years, and you start calculating, oh, supposing I'm to finish here 1 year or 2 years. But by the time I came out, I had started to understand, yes, if the guys have been here for 4 years, what if I stay here for 2 years? That will be shorter. These are experiences that strengthen you for struggle. Well, you haven't talked to this. And while we were waiting for the president, no. This WAF is. Let me introduce WAF to you. WAF is a very humble man. Very humble man. But you know, WAF one. But you know, but this man has not begun the struggle yesterday. Have you heard about the Uganda liberation of 1979? When forces came from Tanzania, various forces came from Tanzania to come and fight Idi Amin after he became trouble again. This man was among them. He was in Moshi for the talks, and he's still here. Don't get tired. Honorable Dick, don't get tired yet. WAF is not tired. Please talk to us.
Yeah, I call him Group 52, Model 52. He's older than me by a few months. But he reached 70 this year. I'm also reaching 70 this year. But we are still okay. Our discs are still okay. They are full a bit, but they are still okay. I didn't want to say anything here because I've been observing it the last 2 weeks. But I will say 2 things only about girls. I call it girls. I think I first referred to you as girls when I was talking to Dr. Induzira. I said, the girls, we are going to see the girls. He said, the girls? I said, yes. Oh, greet them. But you see, Doctor talked about Idi Amin. When we were young, women stayed at home. Even in this Kampala, most women stayed at home. There were very few workers in the government. There were very few teachers. When I was in the secondary school and primary, there was no woman teacher. There were very few women. There were very few women doing business, apart from the low women who were in the Kampala who were selling in a Kampala market. In 79, I think 80, I was one of the men who were working with women found the woman organization. What is it called? The first women organization. Akford, not Akford. Akford, yes. With Matembe, with Fatuma. Fatuma was Magdani's wife, an Indian woman from Zanzibar. Pardon? And Joy Kwesigade, who was then assistant registrar in Makerere, political science. She became a vice chancellor in Kabale. But we found that bring women Of course, Museveni also brought women, but him, he wanted to bring them out as votes and for tokenism. That because Nyanjura is the deputy mayor, now the women are empowered. Because Adeke is the MP, because women are empowered. But they say more empowering women than that, more than that.
Yes.
It's not just this tokenism of jobs up here.
Yes.
It must be deep. How about the owner woman in the village? How is she empowered? So, when you see women leading, we are here because of this. I have been calling you the 6-bearded sisters. Don't take offense. I just like the slogan, the 6-bearded sisters, because you are different. You are like men, but yet you are women. Why do I say you are like men? Because it had been said that it is men who struggle. It's men who fight. It's men who go to hunt. It's men. But now the women are here. And doctors just told us, now you are here. Now you are fighting. Now you are leading. Thank you very much. I'm sure little girls who are going to see, who have been seeing you on TV and social media, they are saying, oh, so even women, so even girls can struggle. You don't know what you have done, by the way. It's a chapter, you don't know. It's just a chapter in our liberation struggle that you have contributed immensely. You have. And we just thank you so much. You brought people from, for instance, NUP, they came today. Because you are touching somewhere, you are influencing, you are influencers, you are putting pressure. They had to come and be with you. They didn't come just to be with Adeke or Margaret. They came to be with the struggle, which is a good thing. And they had the press conference. There, we stayed away. Those who have been in it for a long time. We stayed away. They were there. What will be shown on TV will be leaders of opposition in NUP and DP and FDC. They are there with the girls, but the girls were blue. I like it. So that's you. We are happy. We are very happy. We are getting old. We are retiring. But we know not only youthful men are coming forward, youthful women are coming forward. Thank you so much. The second point is about the young people, the boys, and the youth at the me at the universities. When we were young, students were very powerful people. Students in Uganda in the 60s, 70s, they were real powerful. If you became a good president like Anna here did, you were big. People like the Rugundas, the Omonyo Jokes, they were powerful people. But now, we have young people. Welcome back, Doctor. We have young people, like Doctor was referring to the Serbian Revolution. It was led by youth, the students. The students organized across the country. But now, students of Makere don't know the students of Mbale. Students of secondary school entirely don't know the secondary students of Nabumari. In any case, the Nabumaris have been killed. The schools have been destroyed, the youth have been destroyed, and they are being divided. It will have to take you, I've been talking to some youth of FDC, said, you don't need the cars to travel or allowance to go to mobilize others up country. You don't need to sit on a bus. If you believe like these ladies, you sit on a bus and go and organize and say, Uncle, if we are going to Rugiri, can we sleep somewhere? He said, yeah, you go to this place or my home. They will open for you the house and you sleep. But you talk to your fellow youth. But if you need to go to get money, get allowance, and go shouting or singing, maybe they will even arrest you. But you can go slowly and do mobilization. I read the story of Nyerere and the bit of Obote, how they mobilized. They mobilizing without, didn't have resources. Nyerere was supposed to be private, he said, no, we can't get independence because we're not ready. And he went to mobilize for Tano, his first part was Tano. He mobilized, went across the whole country. By the way, Tanzania, Nyerere is like a religion up to this day. Because he really built. It's like my friend here, doctor. I come from Eastern Uganda, but he's the only man we know he's not from Western Uganda. We know he just say Uganda. People say, those are Banyankole. But this one, they don't say about doctor. Say, this one. Why? Because doctor has been to every gombolola of Uganda, you know that. Maybe not every village, but maybe every parish. He has passed through a bit and waved. They know him. You find all women. One day I was touched when we were traveling with Doctor in Luka. An old woman came. I don't know, Doctor, whether I remember that. An old woman came in Luka. Doctor was in the car and gave Doctor 200 shillings. Said, please go and fight for us. You know, 200 shillings. That was 2016. That means a lot. That woman is known. I mean, that woman knows Doctor. So, to be endeared to people, you need to reach them. There are leaders in my party who are national leaders, but they are not known in most villages because they never go there. They don't go there. Even when you go, they remain at a district and sleep at a district and go back. But
Uncle, the most touching one was in Kaviya, and an old woman came with maize. Said, yo, you put on glasses to confuse me. I want to talk to my president.
yes,
I just allowed boys to let her with the president and gave the maize, raw maize.
yes.
When I entered the car, I asked the gentleman, what does this mean? He says, no, people are showing up with the struggle. They see the struggle. Has to go on.
Since mobile data is turned off, you'll have
So really, what I'm saying is that the younger people, you change the model, you change your model of mobilization, of struggle.
Yeah.
But don't just be here. If you are in Makerere and you go back to Ujiri, you mobilize. You explain. Oh, the other day, where the girls were, now I'm calling the girls all the time, where the girls at the court, this is what they are saying, went and saw the doctor, but the doctor has talked here, you know, he has all this knowledge in his head. He has made here a whole material for mobilization. He has explained to you the reasons and how you can fight and who will fight you and how you should be careful. He just talks very easily, but the youth, you can choose to do what you can choose to behave the way you behave if you want to behave, and actually you'll be slaves. One day, when I was in Parliament, a group of MPs went to Abu Dhabi, and among them was Mwanga Kibonge. I was low. And he came and told me, we were talking, he said, you know, in Abu Dhabi, no, in Oman, they went to a human market, a slave trade, a slaves market. And they were walking through, and women are kept in cages, not like you have chicken in a cage. You can go and buy live chicken in a market, which is kept in a cage. They were walking through like this, and the woman shouted, hey, Mwanga Kivumbi, tuliwano. That was a woman, a Muganda woman, who had been brought there to be sold to another master. Mwanga Kivumbi told me that story. And we made a report to Parliament, but that our people are being sold like slaves. And the reason, she was taken by a person from here, meaning she was sold to a master who got tired of her, and because he had invested money in her, he brought the woman in a cage in a market where another one can come and say Njagaron, like this. And they opened the cage, and the person that is, our kids are going through that. The other day I was going to India, and on the plane of about 250 people, there were only 3 or 4 of us who were not going to be slaves. But they're laughing and happy and they're singing, these young people. So we want that. It is you who are going to fight that, because Museveni is not interested in fighting that you don't go. When you don't go, when you go is good for him. Why? Because it's reducing pressure here, reducing energy which would fight him. If you don't fight with yourselves, he will not fight for you, because he wants you to go and be slaves there, and it will reduce pressure on him. But yeah, there are some who make money in those countries, little money, but they are dehumanized. They don't live like human beings. That story of Mwanga Kivomi told me that our Ugandan women were in cages and they open a gate like this when they are paid for you now. Then you are taken. You have no rights. You are a human being. Doctor has been useful to us. He has guided us. But he's, like he said, he's following us. You never catch up, doctor, but we are following. We are following us in our 70s. It is now for you. And there are little things you do. Sometimes I wonder. Doctor was talking about number manana, the one of the Agasmikamia, the boycotts. But today, we take our money and give it to people who hate us. We take our money in our pocket and walk to post shops whom we know don't like us. Suppose we didn't go to them and go to somebody else. Where do we go to buy things? Where do we buy things which we know are made by people who hate us, who oppress us? Why? Why do we obey a chief, LOC1, or an MP who hates us? Why do you clap for him? Why do you let him talk at your wedding, at your graduation? He doesn't like you. Why? Why do you say, no, you can't talk here? But really, if somebody is an LOC1 chairman, and you say, you can't speak here. Kurumbe, you're not going to talk here. On wedding, you're not going to talk here. The letter, we have to come for you. Would that man be a chairman? You would have withdrawn what? What have you withdrawn from him? Power. Because you give him power through the kaboti or lying behind, then you keep maintaining that power with him because by obeying him. The monkey don't talk about. You keep on going to the forest and bring here to the chairman. But suppose you just decide, no, to the chairman wife. Because you do this A, B, C, D. Oh, that shop there, that person is mistreating us. There was one time a lady in Kivuli. The lady was an NRM lady. 206. Dr. won the whole of Kivuli in 206. But this lady was a tough NRM and she had groceries. So a boy called Francis Omtogo, he was from Virginia. He came to see me at Najanankumbi and he said, this woman, she's really disturbing us. After the election, she was doing like this to them. That, where's your dog? She was doing like that. So I told Francis, what does she do? Said she sells groceries, milk, bread. Not Bundu Mwogo at that time. The women were showing Mwogo. And I said, why? Is there no other shop around you? He said, there is a shop there. He said, you go and buy. You go and buy. You jump that woman and go and buy from that shop of FDC. And so people were passing here like this. Hey, is a customer? Let Museveni come and buy. 2 weeks she closed her shop. The mbogoya got rotten, the milk got rotten, the bread got rotten, and she was asking for customers. There were no customers. They didn't fight her. They simply voted by walking up. That's a form of struggle. So if we need to be beginning analyzing our environment, who are our friends? Who are our friends where we stay? And who are the people who should be fighting? Not all of them are bad people, but if they are so bad that they report you to the police. Then after reporting the police, then you send your child to go and buy milk from their shop, or HVDT, or salt. Then there's a problem there. So the boycotts, maybe I need to study and see what can we do about that? What can we do about boycott? Can we really implement anything? Can we really, because they have perfected the system of violence. Yesterday, this Kasangat road up to town was full of soldiers. Let me look when you're coming. Full of soldiers and policemen. Uganda road as usual, they brought trucks and trucks of soldiers. They have perfected that method. But there must be a way. We must find some other forms of struggle whereby we can actually struggle on and we achieve more. The pressure we put on, or the ladies put on the court, you can see that we have succeeded. The doctor, you're not in the court, but when the ladies were being tried, the judge had policemen guarding him behind.
We sang in court.
Yes, in court. Because we're singing songs when he delayed coming, and the judge was so scared. They called for a reinforcement of policemen, and they had 3 policemen standing behind the judge. No, we said no. Lord Mayor said, please, they should go back. I said, no, they stay there. Why? Just trying the ladies. Because of how you did it. I would thank you. I would let me stop there. But the youth, I think we need to reorganize ourselves and see how we can move the struggle out of Makerere into villages in up country, so that if there were 6 girls in Kampala and 6 girls in Jinja and 6 girls in all towns of Uganda on the same day, you know what that means? A lot. Thank you very much.
Doctor, we are going to listen to the experiences of these young ladies. We had thought they would get a rep, but they have chosen that each one of them will give us their story and want to listen to them. But before we do that, I want to introduce one man here, behind here. Jogo. Jogo, please stand up so that they see. Jogo is Deputy President of JEMA. Hello. EFT is helping us to work together. This sectionalizing FDC, NOOP, JEMA, and who is making us lose energy. It's something else that we shall have to fight. Thank you for coming to. Can I ask Maria to talk to us?
Good evening.
Is
you around?
and face the other. I think it's
Allow me introduce myself. I am Tizito Mariam from Kampala Central. I stand here to pay allegiance to the struggle, to the liberation of this country. I do this.
Since mobile data is turned off, you'll have to connect to a Wi-Fi.
Doctor, I am doing this before you and to the rest of the people here with us for the same. I want to thank our colleagues who led us into this activity. Thank you very much, Doreen. Thank you very much, Anne, and my other colleagues, Alice Amoni, Mami Margaret, and Susanna. For sure, also, I want to thank Uncle Wafu and Mr. Wakandonda, because it is like 2 months that we had an induction. And actually, what we learned from that induction is exactly what is taking place in the Uganda prison. Recalling what you have just said here on the floor, that as we have come from the prison, we are going to meet several people demoralizing us. It is not we are going to meet them in the field now, but we actually met them in Uganda. Yes. I spent nights with Susan, and actually in Ward 5, and actually we met a lady whom we didn't know, but because they had seen us on TV, she came close to us, and she was like, now for you people, now you Mariam, look at yourself. You left your children at home, you left your family at home, you abandoned your job, that you are going on the street, but you don't have a right cause. Your leader sending you to the streets should explain to you the right cause. Look, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your effort. Now Dr. Besigye, even if he goes back in the streets, I don't think he will ever recover. Museveni is not the problem, you see? A prisoner, yes. I was wondering in what category she was falling in. But because of that induction, we were not moved. Because also in that induction, Susan was there. We were not moved. We were aware of those things. So, Doreen, and maybe through you, I would request we continue having such engagements with our women, so that they are equipped with information and knowledge. And well, I stand also to testify that though I am from Luzira, personally as Mariam, because I have never been there, but I am not moved. In fact, I have grown stronger. Like one would say, so before our elders and doctor and the rest of us here, I want to pledge my continuous engagement in the struggle to liberate this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure that message is very clear. Can I therefore call upon Susan?
No, we are moving like that.
Eh? Why?
We want to move like that.
No, why do you want to move? I want to mix.
Why are you taking his
I want to mix them. Yeah, so that you don't go serially. Yes. Yes. Mm.
She can move, but she faces that side.
Susan.
No, it's okay. She can be the
It's okay. Good evening, comrades. Good evening, our elders, honorable members, my doctor. Welcome back. Welcome back from the prison, where I have seen most of the men there. I think they are even torturing them more than us. Though also there we have not been okay. There are many things. We reached a point like we are we're under inspection everywhere in the compounds, because some prisoners were coming to us, even the ones we have been with in the cage there at the court. They have told us that before we went, they have already seen us on TV, and they called all the prisoners and told them that their people are coming, but we don't want you to reveal any information to them when they come. And whoever will be seen with these people they are bringing, that is going to be punished. So girls were like, there was a certain lady, she wanted to talk to Honorable Anne, but she was saying, I want to talk to Honorable Adeke, but they have told us if they see any of us next to any person, that we are going to do what? To punish them or even give them transfer to other prisons which are worse than New Zealand. So for my point of view, I am becoming stronger and stronger because I don't have any option to say that what our elders, most especially Doctor, what he has sown, what he has planted, that we can just leave it to go just like this. So we need to use this very chance that Doctor got up again, and also we show our encouragement, our courageous. We have to be courageous. It is the only chance we have. Okay, I will say when he goes into chair, he will serve us 2 terms, and maybe 2 terms. Yes, we still have a chance of Doctor to serve us 2 terms. So how are we going to attain this, guys? My fellow youth, the ladies, let us be strong. For me, I'm seeing it as a privilege, as a chance that doctors come out. So why? My colleagues, my Lord Mayor, my Honorable Anna Adeke, Madam Wokuri, my Aris and Chizito, we sat and planned of this move, that how will Doctor feel when he is inside there and he comes when we have not done any activity. It was just a quick suggestion and a quick action that made us do what you are all seeing on air, everywhere in this in this country. So I'm emphasizing the next team to get ready. Let us get ready as we leave this press with sit and plan. I thank the team of lawyers. I thank all our organizers who sat with us. Thank you not for giving up. Asega, the Jema guy, our Uncle Waf, Honorable Kanonda, all. We thank Lonnie, the video taker, always. At least he gets time and trains us. I thank you, Honorable Anne, for all you have done. Doreen, the struggle has to continue, always. Thank you so much. Thank you. I remain Nanyonjo Susan, FBC. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan. I thought you'd be crying for your baby, but I can see you are fine. Now, whom do I
knew you were there.
Alice, come and speak your law. Alice Amon is a fighter. In fact, Amon, we shall have to moderate her. When Amon gets angry, she wants to box people. But Karibu, Amon, let's listen to her.
Thank you very much. Sorry, my voice has gotten a problem, but I'll try my level best. My dear colleagues, our president, rights, the doctor, our elders, the cabinet for PFT, my fellow fighters, our colleagues from the great fraternity, I want to salute you all. Those that don't know me, my name is Amon Alice. I was the councillor of LC5 of Nakawa. That was 2016 to 2021. And 2021, I competed with Bobby Wine, and he won me, and I accepted because I knew that wasn't the only avenue for me to fight. I knew there are other avenues that I could still use to fight for the freedom that the Ugandans need. I am Anacholi by tribe. I come from UK. That is United Kitgum. And whenever I come to the front, I'm really sorry sometimes to disappoint my elders. But you know, there is that kind of, in our language, Kiluoni tinguich, when it enters your brain, even something that is very little can boil you up. And the day I was going for this struggle, I think they convinced me and convinced me and convinced me. So when I went, I said, this time I am not going to fight. So Margaret told me, Alice, no fighting with police. And Anne said, if they come and they tell us go to the car, just go. I said, okay. Then as we started, abantu twagala okubategeeza kyembeere basuseeko mulina okusituka mwetaase. And I'm like, okay, they have started. I said, they have started, okay? I said, I am not going to speak. When I speak, I am going to boil. Then problems will come. I kept quiet. I did not even speak in media. So when they came to arrest us, we had discussed, when they come to arrest us, we sit down. So in our car, we had discussed that, but we did not share with the other colleagues. So when I handled Honorable Nyanjura's hand, and the police had already surrounded us, I said, you people sit down. No one was sitting down. I said, now you see these people. I said, now see these people. And now this policewoman comes and says, you! I said, please, don't try it. If you try it, I am going to carry you and put you on that vehicle now. Then the policeman extends, the policewoman. I get up, I stand in on the car, and they tell me, go under. I said, I will push you under. Then I went and sat. So when we reached the police and everything was finished, Doctor, this man said we undress ourselves. I said, now police, why do you want us to undress ourselves? Then they said, no, you remove that cloth. Then our SG, yes, our deputy SG told us, asked and said, you police officer, you are not speaking to young people. You are speaking to adults. Can you explain why you're telling them to remove? I am doing my work. Please get out. We said, oh my God. I said, now these people, they're telling me not to fight. And this is now a stage of fighting. I said, oh my God. Then I kept silent, but burning in the heart. I said, these people, they should not call me again because they've over-controlled me today. So when I got, when SG got out and the other lawyers also got out, then there is another woman who came and wanted to grab me here. I said, Ian, because I'd already, her name was Apio. I said, Ian Apio, Kegura Wanano Chan. So Apio had to extend. Now this other OC who had given us water, bananas, we ate, and was showing his really part of us. So when he turned like that, I asked him, do you think okubogola kwoloza kugenda kusobola kunzijjako luno lugoye? Ne mugamba kale jangu ogeze. Oba olowooza gakulemye kunnyonnyola togenda kujja mu lugoye yadde n'olu. Then the other one was like, no, we are saying you remove those aprons because those aprons we are going to use them as exhibits. Then we say, singa wabadde wakyogedde dda, singa wabifunye dda, naye olowooza okubogola kugenda kusolovinga ki? Tetujjamu ne tugenda. There are a lot of experiences, by the way. I can share it until the whole day. So, Doctor, welcome back yourself. And I know all of us were in prison. You know, when a colleague is in prison, you cannot be out of prison. So I welcome all of us out of prison. And it is my humble prayer that what we are doing today is not for our own good. There is a generation that is coming before us that we are generating our children, our grandchildren tomorrow. If we do not fight for them, by the time they come to fight for themselves, they shall not have even a single voice at all. So the fight that we are fighting for, we are fighting for our children and grandchildren so that they may be good in the future. One Uganda, one people, one people. Uganda emu, FDC emu, omuntu omu. Dana chen, FDC chen, afoye mate.
Yes. Oh yeah, she's coming out. Margaret, hey, I don't want to listen to you. Come here.
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
It's a long story. I hope I can also manage to keep it short, like our colleague. But maybe I start with Doctor. Doctor, you have a lot of greetings from Besigye in prison. From Monday, I think Monday is your visitation. They visit you. Yes, I think on Tuesday there are some ladies that came from Besigye prison at the women's wing, yes, and went to the men's side. They carried certain things. So when they carried those things and they came there, I think they saw you. They saw you. You were going to speak to some visitors, I think. And they came, they were all over shouting and telling everybody, and falling on their beds and so on. So even yesterday, but one, when you still came in court, and then you were released, and these are very young people, very young children, 18, 19, 20, they were, Banang, doctor is back, doctor. So really, I think greetings. Just as a commercial break, those people usually, we have now learned the prison's language, but they have what they call it sapatu. So sapatu means when you are here, a woman, you get a pen pal, like those things we used to do in school. A man, the other side becomes your friend. So some kind of you exchange, you either cheats or what, you don't see each other. You exchange cheats, right? So someone was saying, Banang, doctor, next time he comes, he should be my sabbat. So really, that's the light part of it. Personally, I want to thank Doreen for her leadership. I want to thank Anne, and I'm grateful. I have told you before, and I want to tell you before all these people, that you are my MP of the year. Wow. Because like Doctor explained to us here, that there are tactics and there is a grand strategy. Ours has always been defiance as a grand strategy. So whether you win a position, that position is like you have killed a squirrel. For heaven's sake, we are hunting for an elephant. So now I get so disgusted with the people who hunt, kill squirrels, and get comfortable. That's why, Anne, you are my MP of the year. So, we appreciate, Moses, this is now to you. We appreciate the challenges you've been through. Anita is on your back. We are going to do whatever we can to make sure we put our effort in getting back. That's it. When you come back here, we want you on the street. So the day comes and we had planned, we know we are going. And Doreen is calling. Then in the morning it is drizzling. Some of us have to jump in the car. And you know we've said it is 8 meeting here. And it is drizzling and you cannot get out in the rain. And I said, then when it sees the beat, I said, Doreen, I'm coming. Where are the others? Some phones were off. Where are the others? They are not speaking. Then I called, who else has confirmed? Anne is coming. I said, good. Even if we are 3, we are going to beat the street. But you know, if you're really planning something funny, if people are careful, they can get you. Because I can imagine, I joined Honorable Anne. She was parked somewhere. Then Alice also came and joined us. And then we were fidgeting. Trying to write things on the manilas. But yeah, it didn't go the way we had planned, but at least we are happy that we did something. You young people, for me, it's maybe it's a chapter. If I ever write a book, and I think I should write, that's Luzira thing is an opening. But for me, what I want us to appreciate is that Uganda is one big prison. One big prison. Because in Luzira, you are not supposed to speak. Are we supposed to speak when we are out here? No. In Luzira there, people have one meal. How many people have 2 meals outside here? Very few. In Luzira, people sleep when they are squeezed. Out here, how many people pack themselves in one room like this? In Luzira there, the conditions are filthy. Are we living in a clean country outside here? No. Food. Food. You know? Don't all the way. So we are, in essence, we are in one big prison. So for me, I don't even see why people are hesitant to hit the street and do things because they are comfortable. What comfort do we have in our homes? What comfort? People are not sleeping. Actually, there you are even lucky if they give you a blanket, you are sleeping and you eat dongo free. Here, the landlord is on your case. Is on your case. You are thinking you are not even going to eat. But there is dongo, one unassured meal. So it depends on us, really. It depends on our attitude. For me, when I was there, bathing with those sisters of mine, I said, okay, this is where I belong. Whether the junta decides to put me there for 3 months, I don't care. Because I know the conditions out in there are a reflection of what is. And by the way, like Honorable Waf and the doctor has said, because for me, I'm following closely. Me, I'm following them very, very closely. I've told these ones that I have a few years with you on the street. If you don't work hard, I'm also going to withdraw from the street. But they are young, you people, they are young people suffering in Luzira.
15 years.
They are young people suffering. And why are they suffering? Because of the injustice of the system. Because of the inefficiency of the system. The whole thing, Uganda is clogged. It needs unblocking. A child steals a phone. Why do they steal a phone? We are not here to celebrate thieves. But I mean, if a system has denied a child, somebody does not have what to eat, his life is between your phone and death. And then you are swinging your smartphone. You think that boy is going to leave that phone? He will take it. Now when he takes it, he's taken to the star. Sometimes the owners of the phones don't even follow up that case. Those boys are there. 3-4 years in remand. Because of a phone. The stupid justice system does not even say, this boy or girl has reported in court 3 or 4 times. And the owner of the phone is not appearing. Why don't we dismiss the case? They are there 3-4 years. And they close, and the system, and they, because people are not getting out. Instead, they are just getting in. So you find that a facility that was built for very few people is now congested. It is filthy. And I think we were lucky that on that Tuesday, they took us back. Because if we hadn't gone back, we would have never known what happens in Brazil. They had frightened these girls and women not to talk to us. Not knowing that the best research actually is through observation. So the week we have stayed there, we have seen things, we have some brave ones have talked to us. The issue of land, we women have even a bigger cause to fight. Investors are conniving, arresting full families. Full families, they put you there. The Mugaga, I think, orders a judge. They put you in there, Margaret, because for you are 50 years, they put you 25 years. Your children who are younger, they put them 40, 50, because they know you, Margaret, after 25 years, I think you will not be here. Then your children who are 20, they give them 50. They kill the whole family. Families are there. Families. So we really, people, we have to fight for this country.
We are not going to have children.
Let us get out of our comfort. I keep telling people, for me, there is a car at home. But I don't want to follow the standards. I have known that I can't afford fuel. These days I jump into a taxi and go and do my work. That's why I told her when the day we were going to demonstrate, I said, Doreen, it is freezing. How will I reach? Because I know I can't afford a car. But if we are going to wait for money, if we are just going to need money to carry a placard on the road, then we are not going to move. It's a long story, but we shall keep sharing. Thank you for standing with us. Doctor, you still remain our inspiration. Honorable Af, Mr. Bakandonda, I always have told you this, that even when I want to sleep, and I know that Mr. Bakandonda and the Honorable Af are up, I feel guilty and just get out of my bed. So, we thank you for guiding us. We are open to your continuous guidance, and we pledge. I want to thank my little sisters. Susan left a baby at school, but she's okay. She has remained strong. She's even now stronger. Alice's kid also was dropped at school for a week now, but they have been strong women. We have, at least some of us, our children are big, but you know, if you're a mother and you have a little kid, it's another story. But I want to thank them all for being so strong, because it would have also given a very bad image if they were there and then they showed that they are broken and so on. It would have shown. But the women, the whole Luzira prison, they know these women are hard nuts. We want to thank the team for you mobilizing everybody, you people, all of you dearly, for coming to stand with us. You've shown that what we did was not just for ourselves, but for the country. I will stop there. Thank you.
There comes the mayor of Kampala. Oi. Imakere Roy, Imakere Roy, Imakere Roy, Nyandira Oi, winning Oi, 07 Z.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are not here because we are the most courageous. We are not here because we are the most brave. We are here because we have determined over time that enough is enough. We went to the front line because over time it has been proven beyond reasonable doubt that no one is going to lead this struggle on our behalf. And therefore, that is why as women, from the red card front, the Women Brigade decided to hit the streets. Because we know if we are going to attain any change, that change must be led by us. We are not going to wait for foreigners. We are not going to wait for outsiders, because this is our country. And this country we love and treasure, and therefore we must fight for it. Many have talked about their experiences. I have been arrested. Before I was arrested the other time, I've been arrested over 20 times. Now that Tuesday when we were arrested Monday, that was my 21st time. And like my colleagues, this was not my first time in Luzira. This was my third time in Luzira. The last time I was arrested in 2012, I just had 1 week to do my final exams at the university. The last time I was arrested and remanded to Luzira Maximum Prison, I was put in a ward of mad people so that I get tortured. And I have narrated my story. That one night out of the blue, they mobilized my fellow inmates to abuse Dr. Besigye of Uganda FDC. Because they knew how much I loved him and they knew how much I treasured FDC. They were just given a piece of bread. All that was meant to break my spirit. But because they had received training and they knew how low the dictator can sink, that was never a surprise to me. And I would love to thank God and my political mentors that I have kept consistent. I have kept in the struggle. And definitely that is not about to change. I am going to continue fighting for the rights of the dregs of society. Gallant Makererans who are here. Yes. Gallant Makererans who are here. Yes. We always say that when Makere sneezes, the whole country catches cold. Yes. I see that going down. I see that going down. And as Makere, I think we have to reclaim our space. As Makere, we have to do what? We have to reclaim our space. Because everyone is counting on us. To see what Makere is saying. And that is going down. And as your leader, usually yange mubimanyi biba bitono. Bwe mba nsazeewo ne ngamba kati ngenda ku front line mbeera nkola ki? Mbeera ngenda. Actually, this activity was supposed to happen on Tuesday. Because I know what women can do when it comes to the struggle. Alice had something to do, but because I know she's a fighter, when I called her, she had to abandon everything else. And she was at the front line. Mariam had her tomatoes. But I told her, Mariam, we are not going to wait for Tuesday. We're actually supposed to meet on Monday and plan. I said something has come up, we have to do activity on Monday. She abandoned everything else and joined us on the front line. Now, I was worried for my sister, Susan, because I saw her very busy in Mitiana. But she told me, Deputy Lord Mayor, I am going to be there. And she came. And you have all heard her story. She left her child at school, and she had no one actually to take care of that child. Honorable Anne, they have called you the MP of the year, and allow me reaffirm that. Because, you know, they've already told you when people occupy leadership positions, there's that level of comfort that they tend to get. But she was just a phone call away. And she has been very supportive, she has been very instrumental, and we cannot take that for granted. How I wish we get other MPs doing what you're doing. I am sure things are not going to be the same. Joe Navatanzi. Next time when kugamba sawa bidi. Tuka kusawa bidi. Totuka kusawa nyate notandika kunkubira simu muliwa. You see, this is the kind of training that we have received, you know? Because if I say 8 and you're calling me at 10, police will not wait for us. You get it? My sister Mutes was in Imbarara, but I know she's also another fighter. I've already been told what she did at court the other day. Yesterday at CPS. Just so you can see, we have more than enough fighters to be at the front line. And many women have been approaching me, telling me they want to join the struggle. So I am sure our next activity, we are going to have so many women. Doctor, allow me to thank you so much for being our mentor. Many of us have not been feeling well. Margaret has been down. Anna has also developed cough. The whole of yesterday and today I've been having a very terrible headache. But we asked ourselves, what do we do after being granted bail? And we found it very necessary to come and pick something from your wise words that you always tell us. And I am sure you have not left us the same. Yeah, we actually... Yeah. So, you know, and we have been... And I am happy that we are getting back on the front line, because we had so many songs. The songs you had us singing, they are not new. You get it? So we are reinforced and we are ready, because we want to see things move. We want to do what? We want to see things move. And for me, as the commander now of the Women Brigade, ffe twasazeewo katugenda wa tugenda mu maaso kiri kummwe kati oba munaasigalawo ne musigala just nga muli mabega nze ekyo njagala tukijjewo kati njagala ffena tukole ki tutambule nga tugenda mu maaso. In a very special way, allow me thank our activists, Doctor. Mbalaba wano abalwanyi baffe bangi, Kavuma, Kaketo, Simu bangi, Ali, Sembusi. No, these are people, many of them are not even employed. They don't have that special kind of income that maybe some of us get at the end of the month. But ever, kasi ekintu kibeeramu okulwanira eggwanga lyaffe be basookayo. Even when we came back at court on Tuesday, but most people were not there, but the activists were there. And I was telling my colleagues, don't get worried. Abalwanyi baffe tugenda kukola ki? Tugenda kubasanga. Era bwe twabadde ku kooti leero, already twabasanze nga mukoze eki. I don't know how many of you came here. Naye tutambudde fawadde n'amamotoka ne tujja naye namwe mukoze eki? Muzze. So that is the struggle that we want. My brother Umar, thank you so much for being around. I always tell people that in the struggle we are supposed to be each other's keeper. When they arrest me, you should be concerned. When they arrest Margaret, someone should be concerned because that is how the struggle is moved. In a special way, allow me also to recognize and thank the efforts of my brother from Makere, Samuel. Now, Samuel is a PWD. I don't know what video kabana wa Makere abali bekalakasa. What police did, yabajjako ebigere byabwe. I don't know if you watched that video. They were demonstrating, ne babajjako babita clutches, so that they stop doing what? So that they stop fighting. Nera basigala kumulamwa era ne basigala nga bali balwanyi. So Samuel, I want to encourage you not to give up the struggle, and I am happy that you managed to come all the way up to here. Thank you so much. The struggle continues. May God bless you.
And finally,
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, our leaders and our activists. We thank you very much. We were in Luzira and we shared so many things with our ladies there, including the cold you hear all of us have somehow caught. I'm a bit under the weather, so I'm not going to get close to you. You are really a treasure.
Yes.
To us. You are a very, very precious treasure to us, to our revolution that remains unfinished until we decide that we have to complete it, which I think we are on course to do. So, our leader, I'm very happy to be in the midst of such greatness. You know, having few people of great character who are committed is so much better than sitting in a sea of people who can't seem to really value the things that should matter. So what we have here may not be a mammoth of numbers, but there are people with character and resolve on what we need for this struggle. For the ladies, the sisters who were with me in Luzira, it's been an experience of a lifetime. I really thank God for the opportunity that we went to Luzira. When we speak about a broken justice system, that of course disadvantages the poor, the most hard-pressed in society. Now we speak about it with existentialist knowledge because we have seen it, we have lived it, and we have touched it, the injustice. We have seen people that have totally no hope. You can imagine every single year we budget that the DPP should be facilitated. But a state attorney asked for a week's adjournment to just look at our emoluments to do her work. The lawyers who represent us were doing pro bono, but she was asking for a whole week. And then we go to Luzira and find people who have been on remand for 4 years without any hearing. 4 long years. What kind of justice system? Then you find just the ordinary, most hard-pressed people of society. it's so pitiful. It's a very bad situation. Most of the girls told the inmates that I was a lawyer. My God. People came with issues, just even access to legal aid. And yet, every single year we sit, pass budgets, State House is taking 2 billion daily, and yet just legal aid for an average Ugandan cannot be got or accessed anywhere. So we have seen how broken the system is, and broken systems oppress the poor people the most. So we have a better appreciation of that. When we got there, the euphoria was high because everyone kept telling us, even the wardens there, oh, your boss is at Makshon Bay, oh, we've seen him, hey, you continue with the struggle. And we told them, you are the gatekeepers of this regime. You are the ones who are holding him. And you see them really in a desperate situation because even their emoluments are not sufficient to even put food on the table. So we are telling them that this high prices cause is actually for people like you. Because we know you are civil servants who are doing an honest day's work, but you can't even put food on the table. And yet somewhere, one family is eating 2 billion on one day. So we have a better appreciation of all that. Of course, some of the lessons we take as people in the struggle is to really build our resolve as individuals, because many times the system will do things to break you, to make you feel isolated, and we as a family must continue to stand together. That unity is so critical. I'm so glad that today at least the courtroom was full. The courtroom was full. It has been full. You've come to check on us. We have really felt supported. And this is so encouraging to us because you see, the thing about women and the reason why, some of the reasons why they've been lacking in their struggle is because of the lack of supportive systems around them. To be honest, women, especially women in Africa and Uganda, are such pivotal pillars in their families. They are caregivers in their families. Everything goes around the woman in a family. If she's absent, children may not eat, they may not shower, nothing will be organized, and the men here really appreciate that. So to have a woman come on the front line also strains her support system. And in order for us to increase the number of women on the front line, we have to build those strategies so that by the time you come on the front line, at least you have plan A, plan B. You know what we are up against. I say that because I know you appreciate it very much, our leader. And me being a woman myself, we shared with each other and supported each other to make sure that even when we were in Luzira, our women did not feel like everything was totally getting disintegrated. And it's so important for every group in this struggle to do a SWOT analysis, looking at your character. If you're youth, if you're students, what are your opportunities, but also what are the weaknesses that the junta can use to break you? And for us as women, we discovered it, of course. Us being women and who we are in our families, when they take you away for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you know you'll come, you may not find children at home, you know you'll not find food, everything will be in shambles. So then we build around that and see how to avoid that. So that's when we come to the struggle. We come fully energized, very confident, just like Doctor has told us. It is that conviction and that faith that suppresses the fear that we have for so long been taught to listen to because of the systems around us. So we are eternally grateful to all of you for supporting us and supporting each other, and mostly to you, our priceless treasure. Doctor, we must celebrate you now. Now, even before we finish our revolution, because you have been such a cornerstone, such a hallmark in our country's democracy. Thank you.